Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest. I'm surrounded by projects. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Actually, some of these projects are getting wrapped up. I'm actually more excited than I am overwhelmed about it, but I have to go pick up another project. I keep offering people junkyard price on their cars, hoping I can make some money. I gotta start making some money though. Anyways, on this episode, I want to talk about another problem I've been having recently. It's kind of one of the reasons I've been ended up with so many projects, and I'm just a little too stubborn. That might be what made me a mechanic anyways though, just not being able to give up on stuff and fixing it. I've been like that my whole life though. Like, I don't throw stuff away. So I end up with a lot of stuff that's not running. Some of my projects, actually, this one you'll know about really soon, this Cummins. Not that it'll be running really soon, but all the stuff I've been waiting on will be done really soon. And I'm going back up to Dave's to meet with him this week, supposedly, but maybe next week, depends on how busy his schedule is too. And then I have like my old Jeep that's been sitting around forever because I want to fix that up like almost perfectly, so I haven't really ever started on it. And then I've got like my motorcycle, which I just want to fix up by the end of the year and enjoy a little bit. So I've been out here a lot, I've been editing a lot, I haven't had enough time for anything, fixing a lot of cars, trying to spend time with my kids. And yeah, I'm just thinking about what do I do about this, because I've got to go look at a car this afternoon. I just got done looking at a car, and I've had this problem before where with people say, hey, don't do the diagnosis, let me just tell you what's wrong. And then I go, do I charge them full price if I fix that stuff that they asked for without a diagnosis? Yes. But do I do that like if there's a serious problem with the car and it's not even running? I can't pick up any more projects, but so I think I'm just gonna go and fix a car right now. And every car I've fixed in the last week's turned into something that's been way more of a headache than I expected. Hopefully it's not like that. But my real problem is, when do I draw the line? Where do I draw the line? I just got done on this job for a customer. Luckily I ended up with the car, because if I didn't, I'd be a little upset, because it's like the second time I've gone and spent more than like 5 hours on a job and fixed something they asked me to fix first, then spend more time trying to figure out what was going on, not been able to figure it out. And then what? How do I charge them for a fuel pump if their car's not even running when I'm done and I can't figure out what's wrong with it? But I'm running into something like that on every job I go to. I'm hoping this job is nice and simple, but they don't even have a good diagnosis on it yet. So let's go there and talk about this issue I'm having. How do I charge people? How do I charge people for the actual amount of time I'm spending on a job, which would make the job way more expensive sometimes than normal? Do I just say, hey, in this case, because of the 5 hours of diagnosing and the weird problems that were presented, it's just going to cost more? Or do I just keep that under a normal diagnosis call? Especially like if their car is blown up or something, then I can't charge them anything because they're just going to send it to the junkyard either way. They're not paying me, and I'm not going to lien that. I mean, I could, but it's not worth anything at that point. Let me know what you think. Let's go look at this car. It's getting warm. All right, I'm just getting packed up to go on this job here. Sent me some Cozyfit Bluetooth headphones. These things are pretty nice. I'm going to be wearing them on this job. I'll just let you know what I think about them. I love Bluetooth headphones. I haven't had a good pair in a while. You guys might have seen that I have like some big editing kind that go over the ear. I can't really wear those when I'm outside working. They'll get dirty. It's way too hot in the summer for that. So I'm excited to try these out. That's it. They look really cool. They sent them to me. I'll put a link in the description to them, and I'll ask them for a discount. Let's go see what's up with this car. And without these headphones, it's been almost impossible for me to make or take calls while I'm working. Honestly, that's been one of my biggest issues. These headphones come in clutch. Yeah, I'm gonna need an alternator for... Well, I just got out here with this CRV, and I was just topping off the radiator with some water. I just had some water bottles, and I was filling it up at the hose bib. It just took a couple of bottles to fill it up, and I can see there's a little bit of a leak here. There's really nothing else where this leak's coming from. You know, you would think check the hose, check the radiator, check the hose clamps, but there's nothing on this front corner of the motor except the water pump. And I can see up on the top that it's dry above the water pump and it's wet below it. So we definitely have a water pump leak here. It's really hard to see that water pump. The power steering pump and the tensioner's in the way, but it's just right below those. That's what they thought it was. I'm pretty confident I can just go ahead and swap out this water pump and we'll be good to go. Now, all I had to do was just get to that water pump. I mentioned there was a lot in the way. Well, I've got to get all that stuff out of the way. The power steering pump, the reservoir. I'm going to try to leave everything connected so I don't have to let the fluid out of that. But the power steering line, then I'm going to have to take the two 10mm bolts off of that bracket. And you can see I'm going to go ahead and put a jack and a block of wood underneath the motor, take the motor mount off, because we're going to have to go up, down to get to those 3 lower bolts on the water pump. But we can do it without taking anything below the water pump off if we do it like this. So just a matter of spending the next hour getting down to that. It's quite a bit long to do as a job, and I'm really hopeful that I can start getting this bus turned around and getting some cars fixed, making some good money, and not having some random problems just keep popping up and up over and over. But yeah, just seems to be that way. To add insult to injury, I lost my 10mm socket and a little adapter on this job. It fell into the abyss. I could not find it with an inspection camera, taking the dust shield off the bottom, which I didn't want to do in the first place, and everything. But on a positive note, these headphones work great. I know why they call them the Cozyfits. I didn't even notice they were on. Honestly, I can leave them on all day and they don't hurt my ears. That's a problem I have with headphones. And I love being able to listen to music when I work. Half the time I can't because I'm filming and I got to turn my Bluetooth speaker off. With these headphones, no problem. All right, I honestly think that the only problem was the old O-ring on this. I'm pretty sure it's all in good shape, just a little flat from 20 years old. I've got a Velcro one. I like Velcro gaskets, but I might just use the one it came with, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna come with one. Sometimes they don't. Yeah, wow, look how nice that gasket is. Now that we're here, I'm just gonna go ahead and start breaking the news to ya. This job had more than one thing going on. I'm gonna get this water pump going back in here. You can see the hole right here. Nothing crazy, just a few bolts. That O-ring was leaking, but now the problem is I don't know for how long it was leaking, how many times they let it completely drain out of coolant. If you see where I'm going with this. Because I got everything put back together at the end. And that wasn't the only issue. I think it was neglected a little bit. I think they didn't notice the coolant ran out a little bit. I think that water pump should have been replaced a little bit sooner. But who am I to say? I'm sick of this, bro. I'm not joking. I'm sick of this. Let's go ahead and put this water pump back in. Spend the afternoon, 2 to 3 hours doing this job that I'm not going to be able to charge anything for. Here's what happened. Just recovering from a bit of a cough. I'm gonna go ahead and put this water pump back in, tighten it up. Again, it's gonna take a while. Put these motor mounts back on, line everything up. Let me just do a time lapse for you. But let me tell you what happened when I got this thing put back together. I got it put back together. They told me it was the water pump. Half of me wants to charge full price. Not joking. Probably could. Half of you would tell me I should. It'd be justified. Well, you know, this is my time, my work. But if a car's gonna go to the junkyard, I don't know if it's worth fighting over. I'm serious. I'll put my work into this, and normally I don't even stick around super long if somebody else did the diagnosis, but I thought, let me warm this up for him. Let me put my blue coolant in there. It should be pink, but let me put some blue in there because that's what they had. And let me get this warmed up for him. Well, it's running great. Let me show you. It runs like nobody's business. Problem is when it runs for more than 5 minutes. It's just starting to get warmed up here, and you can see I've got the cap off of that reservoir because I noticed something a little weird. Check this out. Bro, what are these bubbles doing? Where are they coming from? I'll tell you, I don't even have to put a sniffer on them. They smell like exhaust. When I opened the cap, coolant came pouring out. And when I put the cap on, look at this reservoir. This head gasket's toasted, bro. This car's done. I can't charge anything for this. Every single job, man. And that's it. I told you I do not need any more projects. I can't. I physically could not have another project here. I've got to start getting rid of these. But like I said, I have been fixing them. They have been going well. It's just something like, just like that. I'm going to have to take it and put 10 hours of my own time into it to turn that project around and make any sort of money on it now. And I'm not picking up another project. I'm not paying them for that newer CRV. CRVs are cool, but I don't need another project right now. I can't take one. So if you want to help out, you can subscribe or leave a comment down below. I'll try and reply to some of the positive comments. Make sure you're subscribed though, because you're not going to want to miss the next few videos. These projects I do have here and the things I've been doing the past couple weeks have been pretty crazy. And if you like this video, check out this one next. You can donate at the links in the description if you really want to help out, and I'll see you on the next episode. Keep those cars running. That one was not, I mean, I did the job well done, but it was not a job well done.